Hi friends, welcome to another episode of French Food Friday. For this French Food Friday, you're going to need some butter, some maple syrup, some all-purpose flour, you're going to need some baking powder, as well as some baking soda. You'll need some salt, some ground cinnamon, some ground nutmeg, and 2 eggs. You're also going to need some buttermilk and some persimmons. The first thing that you're going to do is melt 2 tablespoons of butter along with 2 tablespoons of maple syrup in a medium saucepan over medium heat. I got some Canadian maple syrup, so it's the real deal. Once they are melted together, you need to remove them from the heat and make sure that it does not bubble. You don't want this mixture to boil. In a medium mixing bowl, you're going to mix together 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. Then add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Then you're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon and 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Then you're going to whisk all of these together and set it to the side. In a big mixing bowl, you're going to put 6 tablespoons of butter with 1 cup of maple syrup and beat them until they are thoroughly combined. Then you're going to scrape down the sides of your bowl and add in a whole egg plus an egg yolk. Then mix those thoroughly. Once all of those are mixed together, you're going to want to add 1/2 of your flour mixture and mix that until it is combined. Then add 2/3 cup of buttermilk and blend that together along with the rest of your flour mixture. Then you're going to take your hard fuyu persimmons and get this little stem part off. You might have to take a knife and just kind of pop that off. Here we go. There it is, like that. Then you're going to take your persimmon and cut it down its circumference, so like you're cutting it on the equator. Then make about 1/4 inch pieces, like that. They should look like this. Voila. You're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees and then in a cake pan, pour your original butter maple syrup mixture into the bottom before layering your persimmons all over the bottom of this pan. Then you're going to take your cake batter mixture and pour it over all of your persimmons and your maple butter mixture. Bake your cake for about 45 minutes, rotating it in the oven about 20 minutes, and then it should come to a light brown color like this. Take a knife and carefully separate the sides of the cake from the pan and let it sit for about 4 to 5 minutes, just so that it'll set, but not long enough for the candy and the persimmons in the bottom to stick. Then take a plate and flip it. It should come out to look something kind of like this. I might have been able to have left it in the oven for a little bit longer for it to have gotten a little more caramelized, but it turned out very well. Hey friends, welcome to another episode of French Food Friday. On this French Food Friday, we're trying a Maple Persimmon Tatin Cake. A tatin cake is a traditional French cake, and this one is kind of a winter version of that. With the seasons changing, I thought this would be a really good cake to do, and with having some fresh persimmons near where I'm living in Florida, I was able to get these. So let's try this, shall we? Oh, I didn't mean to get this big of a piece. Here we go. Bon appetit. The cake is so moist and sweet, and the persimmon has such a different kind of fruit taste than you see most of the time with cakes or with any kind of dessert. Persimmons are such a different fruit than what you usually see in dishes. I think that by this being kind of the upside down cake, it's really able to be light and moist and everything while having the sweet, almost candied persimmon at the top. I feel like persimmons kind of get a bad rap because if you eat them too early or pick them before they're really ripe, they can be really bad tasting. But if you have a good ripe one, especially one of these kinds, I think it's pronounced Bafuyu. They're very good. They're good to eat raw, they're good to cook with. If you come across any Fuya persimmons, definitely give this recipe a try. Let me show you a close-up of what this cake looks like. You have the candied persimmons and butter and maple syrup at the top, and then you have the cake at the bottom. I would definitely give this a 9 out of 10. I don't really know what I was expecting going into it, but this is an amazing kind of cake. If you ever have the opportunity to get some persimmons, if you have some maple syrup, definitely give the Maple Persimmon Tatin Cake a try. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of French Food Friday. If you have anything that you would like for me to try, please drop that in the comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jacob with the Hannah Project, and my Facebook page called Jacob with the Hannah Project. I can't wait to see you next week on French Food Friday. Au revoir, à bientôt.